I'm going to do something that I should have done before we started. I'm going to check my eyebrows to see if they are decent enough to be filled in. On a more serious note, a little note to self. Remember guys, don't try to find fulfillment in makeup, because if you don't love yourself, if you don't accept the way you are and who you are, you can't expect for material things, for products, for objects to make you love yourself. That love, that self-love has to come within, because otherwise you'll just fall into an addiction that won't help. Makeup can be an addiction for some people, and I don't want makeup to be an addiction for you guys. I want it to be something that you can use to express yourself, to express your creativity, and express who you are inside. Today we will be attempting this look from Benefit Cosmetics. I say attempting because I am pretty sure that I'm going to end up with something completely different, or somewhere along the way I'm gonna like something and I'm gonna completely drop this idea and just go with whatever pops into my mind. Oh well. I suggest using a hydrating mist whenever you use a mattifying foundation, because it will dry out your skin. I'm going to be using a Rose Coconut Hydrating Face Mist with hyaluronic acid. I got this at Marshall. So, let's put this on. Let's rub this in. Come to think of it, I'm not sure if you're supposed to rub those in. But I'm still gonna do it, because it's me. So now that we hydrated our faces, we are going to prime them. I'm going to be using the Maybelline New York Baby Skin Primer, which is what I used in the first makeup video that I uploaded. I'm going to be using it in the same areas that I applied it in the other video. Center of my forehead, nose, and under my eyes. There we go. That was a lot. Now I have to wait for it to sit. And now we're gonna go in with the foundation. I will be using the Studio Fix Fluid SPF 15 from MAC in the shade NC30. Remember guys, to dampen your sponge, the reason people dampen their sponge is so the sponge doesn't absorb all of the foundation. Because if you use a dry sponge, not only will it hurt your skin, it will absorb the product and you'll just be hitting your face with a rock. So, some people apply the foundation to the sponge and then to the skin, on the back of their hand, dab it, and on the face. But today we're gonna go a little Instagram style and try to apply the foundation directly on our faces. Let's see how it's locked. Okay. Careful we don't make a bigger mess than what we're supposed to be doing. So depending on how this goes is how much foundation I'm going to layer on, because I really don't want a heavy layer, but if you do, go ahead and add another layer of foundation, but for now I won't be adding another one. Okay guys, now remember to bring the foundation all the way down to your neck. Why? Because nobody wants to see your face in one shade and your neck in a completely other shade. That does not make any sense whatsoever. I will be using the same concealer I used in the other video, the Master Concealer by Face Studio, also from Maybelline, New York. So if you're using it, you have to be careful. You don't want to mess, just like I did. Let's frame our faces with eyebrows, please, because I look weird and it has to stop. I use the Brow Drama Shaping Chalk Powder, also from Maybelline, in the shade 110. Okay. Now we are going to contour. I know the steps might seem a little random, but the truth is you can do your makeup in whatever order you like. To be fair, to be honest, the only like real specific order that there is that the primer goes first. The primer always goes before the foundation or before anything you apply to your face, and the setting spray and setting powder always go at the very, very, very end. But other than that, I don't think that there's a specific way to do it. Everybody has their own different style and their own different order to do it. I do it differently every time. Okay. For the people that don't know where to put the contour. Contour can be done in a foundation it's not a foundation stick. Contour can be done with a stick or with powder. I do it with a stick because it's a lot easier, for me at least, but if you want to do it with powder, go ahead. I'm going to contour with the stick, and then I'm going to reinforce a little bit the contour with powder. Okay, so the contour goes in the hollow of your cheeks. That's why some people do a fishy face. You want to make sure you don't blend it down, but you blend it upwards so it looks like it's lifting your cheeks. There we go. Chiseled. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to reinforce the contour a little bit, but with powder. And I'm going to do that using the Ellen Tracy Contour Kit. So these are the 3 shades that it has for contour. The lightest shade is light contour, the medium shade is medium contour, and the darkest shade is dark contour. I'm going to go with the same brush I used for the foundation. For the contour. And I'm going to go in the medium shade, which is this one in the middle. And I'm going to reinforce. Now we are going to bake. And what is baking? What is baking for? Why does it exist? Why do I not understand the purpose of it? Baking is simple. There are different ways to bake. Actually, no, there's only one way of baking. Baking is when you grab loose powder with your sponge and you apply it on your under eye, basically where you applied your concealer, and on your jawline. and on your forehead. So I use the Air Spoon Loose Face Powder. You can buy that at Walgreens or Walmart. This is like a general shade thing. Some companies have a specific shade depending on the range of foundation and concealers they have, but this is just a general one. It's translucent powder. So we're gonna put this on our under eye, and we're gonna put it down here. Okay. So the reason we put it down here too is because, really? Okay, we have our foundation, our concealer, our contour, our baking. We have our eyebrows on our face. Over here. Right there. And on the other side too. First of all, we're going to set our eyelid with the shade Canvas, which is this shade right here. Gonna grab our sponge. I'm gonna put it all over our eyelid. Use Punch Me for the transitioning shade, which is this shade right here under Canvas. Okay. Let's transition. Okay. So we're going to go in with a light hand, but plenty product. Here we go. We're going to bring it a little bit more in. Okay, now that we have our transition shade down, she goes from this light brown to a slight darker brown on the outer corner. So for that, we are going to be using tea. The shade Tea gave me the darker version of Punch Me, which is what I wanted. But to add a little bit more of a warm tone, I went in for 10% off, which is this shade. This one right here. And I think you can see the little orangey right there, but I'm going to add just a little bit more. Okay, so what's left is to cut the crease and put glitter on top of the concealer. Now we're going to use the shade Rin Light and So Good for our newly cut crease. For our newly cut crease, we are going to be using Rin Light and So Good. Okay, so I applied a fairly good amount of So Good on this eyelid. I think I'm going to apply a little bit more, and now I'm going to go to the other eye. So I'm going to go with Wig, which is the darker gold shade. Okay, so I'm going to use now a little bit of Rin Light, which is the one next to Canvas, in the inner corners. I'm pretty sure you guys can tell that I went just a little bit overboard with Rin Light, but that can be fixed. I don't know how, but we're going to fix it. But to fix it, we need to take these off. You see how we have a very harsh line here and here? If you want to keep that, that's okay. But for me, it's a little bit too harsh. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to smudge it down. Now we're going to reblend everything with tea. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to do an improvisation for an eyeliner because my sister wore it out and I have no more eyeliner. So I'm going to grab the shade T with a eyeliner brush and I'm going to go inside the waterline. We're going to go in with the Falsies Volume Express, also from Maybelline, New York. Bronzer, I will be using the shade Punch Me. Go right here. On the other side. Now for the highlighter, and of course we are going to use the shade Days. We're gonna get as much of this as we can. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now we're going to highlight our noses, but in specific places so we don't look weird. We're gonna grab our finger and we're gonna go boop and boop. Okay, so we're gonna do a really weird mix between these 4 shades. They're all from Maybelline, New York, the Super Stay Matte Ink. I completely love these lipsticks and my goal is to have all the colors. Okay, so I will be using the shades 55 Driver, 65 Seductress, 70 Amazonian, and 75 Fighter. So we're gonna do a weird mix. Our lips. So what I do when I apply lipstick is that I put on the upper lip lipstick and then I mix it with the bottom part. I'll show you. You draw out your Cupid's bow. Like that. And then you mix it. So then we're gonna go with Amazonian. Comment down below if you like what I did and if it actually looks maybe a little bit similar to the picture, but then again, I told you guys in the beginning that the chances of me doing exactly this are very little, considering that I am a free spirit and I will do whatever comes to my mind. I hope you guys enjoy this video, that you learn a little something. Remember to subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up, click the notification bell, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Best Sisters. I hope you guys have fun.